What's going on, everybody? Trev Wilson here. Welcome back to the Bourbon Wrench. Today, we have another 10 whiskeys that will be coming soon. You guys know the drill. Let's just get right into it. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. Turn on notifications. Check out all the links in the description. Find out ways to support the channel more. Let's get right into it. We got a lot of whiskey to talk about. So, we are going to start with 3 releases from Maker's Mark. Back to back to back. Bang, bang, bang. Now, the first bottle is very, very interesting. Maker's Mark, the Lost Recipe series. Now, this is not a lost recipe at all. If you go back 2021, Private Selects, you used to see a stave on your Private Select called Mocha, French Mocha, and they replaced it with the Mendiant stave, okay? So what they did here was bring back the roasted French Mocha stave for this limited edition release. Now, the story they kind of put behind this one was that, you know, they had 1,001 recipe combinations, and then they retired the Mocha stave. So now with the new stave, you got another 1,001 combinations. Well, supposedly this stave profile, 1 baked American puree, 3 seared French cuvee, 0 Maker's 46, 6 roasted French Mocha, and 0 toasted French spice had never been done before. So a couple things. I think it's cool that they're bringing it back for both the people who had never gotten to try the Mocha stave, because it is very chocolatey, very prevalent, okay? It really sticks out, especially with them using 6. That's going to be in this one. It's going to be hot and heavy in your face Mocha, but also people who loved that stave. It's cool. Hey, here it is. We're bringing it back for this limited edition. The story that I got a few years back was that they were going to periodically retire staves and bring in new staves, but that's the only one we've seen so far. So maybe they will continue this whole lost recipe limited edition whenever they retire another stave, if they ever do that. 2, another thing I just noticed, 700 milliliters. They dropped 50 milliliters. The price will probably be increased because it's, you know, some limited edition, and it's 700 milliliters. So there's that. I think that's new. I think that's something new they're doing. All right, let's move on to the next bottle, which is also Maker's Mark. Here we go. I think this one might just be, they changed the label. The more I've been looking at this, because I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, their whole wood finishing series thing has gotten just so confusing to me. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know anything about this. It's really hard to differentiate, like, what the heck is different about this versus, you know, a Private Select. You know, I feel like the old system was just better. Granted, it was a bunch of, you know, codes, BRT and all this stuff, kind of was confusing, but at least I could follow what's going on. A couple videos back, we already talked about the Heart release, and it did not look like this label. So I think maybe they cleaned it up. The original one was just a whole freaking essay on the front of the label. It's too messy. I have no idea what's going on. The more you talk on a label, the less people understand. I have no idea what you're talking about. Simple. What is it? What's it going to taste like? That's all you need to know. You know, save the stories for the website or something, okay? But I think this might just be a relabeling. It's confusing because it does say over here on the side, for the second chapter, I guess they're just talking about the wood finishing series again. I think this is just relabeling, like rebranding before it even came out. So good on them. All right, the next one is something new from Maker's Mark. And we also have a lot to say about this one. And this is a Distillery exclusive, okay, of a wood finishing series. Again, pretty not really telling me a whole lot of stuff. It just says 10 virgin French oak staves, 90 proof. Like, are we what is really different about this is just regular Makers with French oak, which was essentially Makers 46, but now this is at 90 proof. They didn't really tell us what staves were in this, so like, was it the staves that they just had too many staves, so let's just use them up for something and call it a distillery exclusive? I don't know what this is going to be. Again, this is coming from the Makers lover, and I'm lost in the sauce. Okay, we can only, like, how different is this going to be from other things? I don't know. So, that's it. That's all we got to say about it. We just have to wait and see until we try it. So, we'll see. Stay tuned for the Bourbon Wrench. Let's move on to some more bottles. These are also some distillery-only releases. Let me kind of get in the middle here. I pulled up 2 photos. You're gonna see 2 photos up here right now. And I was kind of confused as I was going through. I was seeing a lot of labels that looked like this, but then they were all, so this one would be Jim Beam. This was Heaven Hill. They had Bardstown Bourbon Company. Also, a bunch of Bardstown distilleries with this very similar 48%, 96 proof, limited edition label. And so I was like, what the heck is this? Called Bardstown Collection, and from what I've gathered is that each of these Bardstown companies are collaborating somehow. I don't know if they're doing anything together at all, or if they're just releasing a very similar branded bottle that is going to be sold in their gift shop. So it's kind of like they're teaming up. Hey, this is something, a way for people to come and visit Bardstown, go to each of these distilleries. So maybe not everyone's just going to Heaven Hill. Maybe we can go to some smaller distillery that's also in Bardstown who is participating in this. They have their version. Let's, kind of just spreading the love. I think it's really cool. A nice thing to do. Makes it fun. You're going to the gift shops. It's something exclusive to the distillery in the gift shop. It gives you something to go and do, collect, all that stuff. So I think it's pretty cool. And there was, again, a bunch of these. So a lot of people, it's like everyone in freaking Bardstown is doing this, it seems. So some of them I've just never even heard of. So it's really cool. Next one, Jack Daniel's Distillery Series. They do tons of these. It seems like each video we have a new Jack Daniel's Distillery Series to talk about. This one is twice-barreled Tennessee straight rye whiskey. We've seen that Jack Daniel's has been crushing the rye game. Just their ryes are so good. This one is a unique rye grain bill, twice-barreled in new charred American white oak barrels for added depth. So, double oaked rye. It's gonna be good. And again, distillery only. Gets you out to Jack Daniel's and gets you something cool for stopping by. So let's keep on going. We're flying through, making great time. Next up, 2 bottles from Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is a single barrel finish private selection. Private select. Okay. We doing picks now or what? What is up with that? Rickhouse C Floor 4. 59% alcohol. This is Kentucky straight rye finished in toasted cherry wood and oak barrel. So very interesting. Toasted cherry wood. I don't know if I've seen anything do that. That's very interesting. On the side here of the label, you do see the breakdown. It is their own stuff. Bardstown Bourbon Company 6-year-old rye. And it is a 95.5 rye, 95% rye, 5% malted barley. Finished ryes, man. It's where it's like cherry wood. I don't know, like, is it gonna taste like cherry? No, it's probably just gonna have a different oak characteristic to it. But that's very interesting. Seems very cool. They're always, like, Bardstown Bourbon Company, again, it's another distillery that's always putting stuff out, and they're always on the list. It's like we almost can't do a list without them being on there. They're always coming out with something new, it seems. Very innovative from those guys. Let's pull up the other one that they're releasing. This is Bardstown Bourbon Company, small batch, stave finish, blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, finished with oak staves. 94 proof. I will say, it does not say what, it just says oak staves. So, I don't know if there's anything done to those oak staves, if they're charred different. They don't say. They do not say at all. As transparent as this company is, I imagine they'll eventually like tell you exactly what it is, what was done to the staves, and what their reasoning to put it in there, and what they're expecting it to taste like, and blah blah blah. This label doesn't tell us any of that. The blend, pretty interesting. 48% Georgia 8-year. 80, it looks like a 4-grain. 80% corn, 10% rye, 5% wheat, and 5% malted barley from Georgia. So who the heck is that? We got 26% of the blend is Bardstown Bourbon Company, 5-year bourbon. We got 20% 4-year Kentucky bourbon, and a 6% 12-year Kentucky bourbon. So, gonna be interesting. Again, a lot of these blends and breakdowns, it's hard to know what it's gonna taste like. You're just gonna have to get it yourself and try it yourself, and then we'll learn what it tastes like. So, I'm excited about that one. Next bottle, we got something new, and we're gonna have to kind of break this down to what it is, because they didn't really specify other than what it says right here. Little book, The Infinite. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is new. This is going to be separate from, Little Book chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is its own thing, The Infinite. Now let's make this a little bigger so we can see it. Gotta make it a little bit bigger. I created this series to share 3 generations of my family's whiskey making craft. Every edition combines whiskeys from my granddaddy, Booker, my dad, Fred, and me. Year over year, the blend will keep evolving, as will our legacy. So, that sentence right there combines whiskeys from all of them. So, that's telling me if you're going to have whiskey from Booker in there, it's gotta be some aged stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's gonna be combining all of their stuff, that's gonna be like crazy. Now, how much? I'm sure you could just do just a little to say it's in there. You know what I'm saying? But it should have some very aged stuff in that. If I just reading that and continuing to put a release with different floors, ages, whatever. So, going to be expensive. Let's just face it. Anything that has a little book on it seems to be pretty dang expensive. But that's still exciting. That's pretty cool. Next bottle is already out. It is the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof for this year, 121.2 proof. So if you guys are into that thing, don't have a lot to say about it other than if you're into this thing, this batch is now out already. You should be seeing it maybe here or there to keep your eyes peeled. Again, I think a lot of people get these because they really like them, and I think some people get them and they feel like they got burnt by them because it's just too dang much money for Woodford barrel proof is what it is. So we'll see. I like the last batch, but again, just so much money. Like, it seems like they're just $120, $150, crazy for barrel proof Woodford. Okay, just they need to chill. All right, let's move on to the last bottle. We saved a biggin for last. Old Forester Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Birthday Bourbon 2024. 12-year-old bourbon, 107 proof. Man, this is basically all this is just telling us is the color of the label. The colors always change, and I just take this as a good omen because this is the color of the Old Forester shirt I got. I mean, kind of. Close enough, you know? The light's changing. Okay, this is the same color. This is the sign that the Wrench is finally gonna get a birthday bourbon this year. That's how I'm taking it. The stars have aligned, baby. So you better believe I'm gonna be going to those raffles. I'm gonna be looking. I want some birthday bourbon. So we'll leave it at that. Good luck, everyone. You're gonna need it. If you have tried other Old Forester birthday bourbons, leave a comment down below what your favorite batch was and why, and yeah, I'll tell you how good this year's is when I get it. So, all right, there we have it, everyone. 10 new whiskeys that are coming out 2024, so keep your eyes peeled. Leave a comment down below which ones you're excited for, which ones you're not excited for, and leave a like, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. You know the drill, and until next time, I'm Trevor Wilson. I will see you guys in the next video.